Okay. I already had an idea of what this could do, but it just really made me think deeper because this whole skill tiers and weapon cores thing is really getting me to a point where all of these ideas are just popping up in my head, making the builds quantified even more. And with this striker build that I just made or whatever, I made a video just now, three builds, three of your favorite builds that break the mold. One of them was the Umbra, one of them was the ongoing directive, and one of them is this one, the striker with 5 weapon cores and 5 skill tiers. And I was using the Ouroboros. So when I put the Ouroboros on, you see it has 85k total damage, and that's cool because it has almost 1700 RPM, which is pretty broken. It has the highest RPM in the game. When you compare it with all the other weapons, like let's say the Chameleon, it's negative 189. Of course, it'll be more once you get that 90% weapon damage that you get for hitting 75 body shots. You go to St. Elmo's, it's only plus 9,398 more with no buffs. St. Elmo's gives you the electric rounds. Bighorn, plus 32.2k. That's cool. That's a big damage increase, right? You got some more damage increase with the backfire, 26.5k. Then you got 44.3k with the blue screen. The Iron Lung is just under 40, okay? But when you compare it with the capacitor, 40.1k. The only thing that does more damage than this that I saw was the blue screen by 4,000. So the reason why it's hitting so hard, and by the way, the Ouroboros has a really high RPM, so it's going to melt no matter what. Don't worry about this 81.5k. It's nothing compared to what it can do when you're firing it. But I thought about it, like if you look at the capacitor, by the way, I have damage to targets out of cover and damage to armor on it, so make sure you have that, right? But when you look at the capacitance talent, it says shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. They grant 1.5% skill damage, so you can get 60% skill damage off tops. Okay, that's just a great talent in general. That's the first part. But this is what I'm talking about. For each skill tier, you gain 7.5% weapon damage. Now that's essentially a weapon core when you have skill tiers. The purpose of this is to allow you to have weapon damage since you theoretically will be using a skill build whilst using the capacitor. But when you have weapon cores, it naturally gives you weapon damage. You see? 15% weapon damage. Well, it's supposed to be. But these cores are supposed to give you 15% weapon damage. See, that's the max. That's doubling the damage that you get with the 7.5% from the capacitor. Right. But if you put the capacitor on, you get the damage from the weapon cores that you have with the 5 skill tiers from the capacitance talent. Now I want you to see how much damage this deals as I'm stacking it up. And I'm talking about to the body. Already, with no stacks, I'm getting almost 500k crits to the body. Now you could just think about it. You can make a build without striker and stack as much crit damage and crit chance as you can. Try to get the maximum amount to see how much damage you can get without stacking anything. But since I already have this striker's build going already, I want to see how much damage it deals when I stack it up to 200 stacks. So as you see, this is to the body, y'all. Because most of the time when you're in game, you're not going to be beaming the head 9 times out of 10. You're going to be hitting the body, right? But look at how the damage is increasing when I'm hitting the body with these stacks. And this is because I have the weapon damage cores and I have the skill tiers giving me 7.5% weapon damage for each one. Mind you, I'm getting skill damage also, which is maxed up to 40. You see, they decay after 5 seconds. But this with your skills is ridiculous damage, man. I always try to figure out a way to put the capacitor away and try other methods, but how could you not use this when it's doing something this crazy? That's why I said it's broken, but in a good way. I honestly feel like that I don't even want to say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It has something to do with the devs doing stuff when other stuff happens in the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to promote that because you guys are going to get at me for saying it. I don't even want to say the word. But look at that. 1 or a little over a million crits to the body and 500 or almost 500k body shot damage. Can you guess how much damage I'm going to deal to the head? Let's see. Okay. 1.3. Wow. Look at that. That right there just reminds me of how fast the Ouroboros melts stuff, man. Let's put the Oreo on just to see. Let's put the Oreo on while I have these stacks. Look at that. Okay, it is. Remember, I said that the rate of fire is super fast, which is why the damage is not going to be as high. But look, it's the same time to kill. Because I'm hitting for 642k crits to the head. And less than 500,000 to the body.
Okay, I want to say something real quick about the Ouroboros in relation to the capacitor, because there's a lot of controversy surrounding how much damage this actually deals in correlation with other weapons. Of course, the Ouroboros hits super hard, but when you put something like the capacitor in this space with weapon cores and skill tiers with the capacitance talent, then you have to consider other factors, because it's not only the weapons damage that's dealing that 1.3 to the head. There's the skills damage. There's the increased skill damage that you deal when you hit people with 40 stacks from the capacitor. So I'm referring to an all-encompassing damage buff that pulls from sources other than just the weapon. It's just something to think about. Let me get back to the video.
Come on, man. Come on, man. This is nuts. I was wondering, like, okay, am I going to be able to get the weapon damage and the skill damage with the capacitor? And the answer is yes. Let's go do a mission. Because, you know, when I do videos like these, the gun range is one thing, but you always got to do a mission just so you could see for yourself how it really hits. I don't know why I like Grand Washington Hotel so much, but there's some missions that I just like going to. Because I'm like, let me go ahead and try to make these builds so that I could shy away from the capacitor so I wouldn't have to use it so much. I'm always using capacitor builds, you know, let's do something different. But man, like, this right here, man, this right here, bro, wow. Because when I made that all skill tier striker build for the incursion, it was hitting, but it wasn't hitting as hard as this, because I was missing the weapon cores. I did a straight up 6 skill tier striker build. Wow. Yeah. This is just ridiculous, bro. Like, you know how you can just feel the damage, right? When you're shooting, you could just feel how much damage it's dealing. Strikers has rate of fire and it has weapon damage. I mean, yeah, I feel unstoppable. I feel like if I use this in PvP, it's gonna, like, I said this before. When you play a build like this in PvP, of course, okay, it's 913k. If you're gonna use this in PvP, I recommend getting 1.1 million armor and using a skill like that would get enemies off balance, maybe like a sticky bomb. I recommend using the drone because it's a nuisance when it's above player's head. It just makes people want to shoot at it, period. People act like a bot or an NPC when they see the drone flying above, and it's just a great deterrent for you to go in for the kill. And then use like a EMP sticky bomb or a fire sticky bomb, just something that can offset the enemy to compensate for the armor that you don't have. And you know, you see players in there with 1.3 million armor, 913k armor. You see players with all kind of armor in there. I've even killed people who had 2 million armor. It just depends on how you play. When it comes to PvP, it's about your skill level and your build. We're gonna try this in PvP. I'm about to be bold, and you know what? I'm still gonna use it with the 906k armor or whatever. Okay, we got a strike at 1.7 mil, 1.2 mil. All right, let's see. I got less than 1 million armor with this striker build, but I'm about to switch the skills around a little bit. Maybe get the sticky bomb. I'm gonna keep the drone. All right. I'm gonna do the fire sticky bomb. Let's go. I'm pushing on the flank. Got one. One down, baby. Let's go. Push up. Pushing up on this cat.
Denied.
Oh yeah, I'm squishy. Alright, let's go. Thing is, man, in PvP you can't take no damage if you don't have like at least 1.3 million armor. So it's just not gonna work. But I just figured I'd try this out, you know. Cause I'll be dishing out insane damage, it's just that I can't take it. You feel me? Looks like this team's gonna get bodied though, because we got a pretty good team. Ooh. Ooh. The beams. See what I mean? I could dish it, but hold on. Where you at? Where you at? I see ya. See ya. What kind of instant armor kill? Okay, give me the heals. What kind of heal is that, bro? Okay, so I wouldn't recommend that in PvP for the striker at least, because the thing is, the whole idea of this build with the capacitor is that you have to have 5 weapon cores and 5 skill tiers, so you can capitalize on both the damage you get with the skill tiers with the capacitor and just the normal weapon cores damage. And you can't really spread yourself too thin in order to do that. This is the only way that I can see that you can do that, unless you have the mechanical animal. You're not really going to be doing that in PvP that much. So the highest armor you can get with this is 913k, and it's really hard to compete with that. I mean, you just got to be kind of like really shifty, really good. I don't know, but I just wanted to test it out to see how hard it hit, and it still hits hard in PvP. But anyways, you saw how it hit in that heroic mission in the beginning on Grand Washington Hotel, and you saw a little bit how it hit in PvP. I'm sure you can imagine further how much harder it can hit, but I just wanted to show you this video and let you know what basically a lot of you probably already knew, but a lot of you probably don't. So I suggest you put the capacitor on and try to get as many weapon cores and as many skill tiers as you can so that you can capitalize on this insane damage. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. I'm actually going to try my hardest to make a build that's not striker, but just like a yellow high-end build, so that I can try to make myself more tanky and capitalize on the skill tiers and the weapon cores. It's going to be the hardest thing that I ever attempt. So if you want to help me out, comment down below to give me some tips as to how you think I should put this together to make it be at least 1.1 or 1.3 million armor and still maintain a high amount of skill tiers and a high amount of weapon cores. So that'll do it for this one, fam. I appreciate you stopping by. Like the video if you liked it, and if it helped you out in any way, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.